Hello, and welcome to another YouTube video by myself, Jeanette, from Jeanette's Readings. I would like to welcome you to my version of how to meet your spirit guide. I like to keep things as uncomplicated as possible, easy to follow. So now we'll begin. What you will need for this meditation is a pad and paper at the side of you, a bottle or a glass of water, and we're just going to make things nice and easy. Please make yourself as comfortable as possible, whether that's in a chair, lying down on the couch or a bed. And just take a few moments just to do so. Now that you're nice and comfortable, I'd like you to nice and gently just close your eyes, nice and slowly. We're going to start this meditation like I start all my meditations, with 3 nice deep breaths. So we're just going to take our first deep breath, so it's in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just taking your second deep breath. Really feel that air filling your lungs, and exhale. When you're taking your third deep breath, nice and gently, just hold it as much as you can, as long as possible, and then slowly release that energy. I'd like you just to take a few moments just to do a couple of breaths with yourself. Just being aware of how much energy you're drawing in and how much old energy you're taking away. We're going to use a lot of visualization through this meditation. And the first one is to visualize a beautiful golden energy all around you, like a massive golden globe. You're going to bring it all over your head, around your torso and arms, your legs, all the way down underneath your feet. So we're just going to surround ourselves in that golden globe of light. So again, just take a few moments to do so. Really visualize the goldenness, it sparkles from within. And we're going to begin by calming the mind. And we have such a busy mind, always thinking about last week, yesterday, today, what we've got to do later today or next week. Meditation is about living in the moment, living in the present, living where we are just now. So in order to calm the mind, I'd like to just acknowledge the thoughts that come in. Just move them to the side, out of view. Every time another thought comes in, just take your mind and visualize and feel your chest as it rises and falls. Your breath as it inhales and exhales. And this helps calm down the mind. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Just taking a few moments just to calm everything down in the head. Now that we've kind of got your head in control, or back to you being in control, we're going to start really relaxing the body. In order for this to work, you need to really be as relaxed as possible. not having lots of things in your mind. So we're going to start by relaxing the shoulders. We're not going to force anything. Just going to take our time, and just with every out breath, just allow your shoulders, just allow them to release all that tension and stress that you're carrying, and just allowing them to drop gently. Just allow them to move slightly, letting go, just bringing them down nice and softly. We're going to take that and work with that and move it all the way down your arms, feeling all the muscles and the tendons, all the way down to your elbows, letting go of all that tension all the way down your lower arms, down the palms and the backs of your hands, down each finger and thumb. And then just let go. This definitely gets easier the more you practice. Going to work down your shoulder blades and your chest, all the way down to your waist and your tummy, all the way around your lower back, all the way to your hips. Just letting your torso follow on from your head, your arms, and just allow that beautiful sinking feeling to take over. Giving yourself permission to relax is one of the greatest things you could do. We're going to follow that relaxing feeling all the way down to your hips and thighs. Remember and be aware of the breath and the softness of the breath. We're going to allow our torso to sink into where we are. With every out breath, with every in breath, just allow yourself to relax, de-stress. Going to follow on all the way down your upper legs to your knees. All the way down to your lower legs, to your heels and ankles, and all the way around your feet and down your toes. Like all my other meditations, what I ask the person to do is do a top to toe check-in. And this just basically means you work from your head to your toes, making sure that every part of you is nice and relaxed and we haven't forgotten any bit of you. So just take a few moments, start with your head and work your way down your body. Releasing yourself from all tension and all stress. What we're going to do now is we're going to do some grounding work. And this is where I would like you to imagine that there's 4 roots coming from each of the soles of your feet. And no matter if you're in the top floor of a flat, it makes no odds, it's the visualization that counts. So I would like you to visualize and imagine that where your feet touches the ground or where your feet are near the ground, there's earth. And as you visualize these roots extending from the soles of your feet, they're either going to drop down off the bottom of a bed, or they're going to make an instant connection if you're sitting in a chair. And I'd like you just to stretch those roots to the earth, connecting yourself to Mother Earth. Burrowing your roots down through the soil, being aware as the earth moves to the side to allow your roots to go further. Burrowing down your roots about 5-6 inches. And if need be through this meditation, you maybe need to go back to your roots and burrow them deeper. But we'll leave them where they are just now. And just stop when you feel comfortable. Again, take your focus to your breath. Be aware of the soft energy around you. Be aware of the peacefulness that's within you. So let's begin our new venture for meeting your spirit guide. I'd like you to imagine that you're standing in a corridor, and straight ahead of you, about 5 steps, there's a massive, big brown door, beautifully carved, old style, great craftsmanship. So let's take our 5 steps to get to that door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just place your hand on the handle and just turn it gently and move it just ajar. Just open it slightly. I'd like you to be aware of what you're smelling or what you're sensing at this moment. Because at the other side of this door, there is a massive wood-panelled walled room. And before you step into it, I'd like you to imagine that on the left-hand wall from where you are, there's a beautiful roaring log fire. And at either side of this fire, there's 2 high-backed, comfortable chairs facing each other. What kind of chairs these are, it's up to you. It's part of your visualization. In between the 2 chairs, there's a small table. Very old, very plain. Which in other meditations, this will be significant. All around the room, there is candles on the wall. Candles in high stands on the floor. So I'd like you to push that door roughly halfway. And as you push it inwards in the room, you could see the log fire and the 2 chairs on the left. You're aware of the candles around as you peek in. So let's just push that door just a little bit further. Just a little bit further. And you're aware of the 2 chairs. You could see them clearly. What colour they are and the shape of them is up to you. Definitely comfort's the most important thing. I'd like you to walk into that room and close the door behind you. And as you walk in, very much aware of a door on the opposite wall from where you are, similar to the one you've just come in. So I'd like you to take those few steps and make yourself comfortable in the first chair you come to. As you make yourself comfortable, be very much aware of the flames of the fire, the yellows and reds, the blues and greens, the smell of the wood burning, the crackling, the noise. This other door's making you feel very curious, wanting to know what's on the other side. So now that you've made yourself comfortable, we're going to start opening that door. And on the other side of the door is your spirit guide. So the instructions are going to happen. That door is going to push inwards to the room just like yours did. We're going to take our time. So that door's about 20 steps away from where you are. So you're aware of the handle turning and the door opening slightly ajar. Because of the dim lighting in the room, very much aware of the white light that shines on the top, down the side, and along the bottom. It's a beautiful white light, not too stunning, not too vibrant, but really noticeable. 20 steps away from the door to the chair opposite you. We're just going to take our time. I'd like you to be aware of that door opening a little further than ajar. Maybe about a quarter of the way. There's more of the light enters the room, from that room to this one. And as the door opens halfway, you're aware of a shadowy figure. You can't see what the figure looks like. You're just aware of the surroundings. Just aware of the silhouette of a person coming towards and entering this room. The reason it's a silhouette is we're going to take it stage by stage. Now the door opens 3/4 of the way. This beautiful shadowy figure takes a step into the room. They take another step into the room. And the door opens fully. The light's bright but not too blinding. The shadowy figure becomes more accessible. You could see it clearer. Still a silhouette. I'd like you to be aware of what you're feeling and what you're sensing. There's an understanding that the spirit guides more likely walked with you most of your life. So they know a lot about you. It's time for you to know a lot about them. So just be aware of how you feel. So we're going to take our time as your guides gets closer and closer. You'll see more and more of them. So let us take our time. 20 steps between you and them. 20, 19, 18. Just going to ask your guide to stop, to stand. And what I'd like you to do is while you're sitting there, just take your focus, look down and look down at their feet. Just want you to just take time and just focus. And as you're focusing, the dark shadowiness of this figure really starts to become more clear to you. But we are going to take this stage by stage. So I just want you to look at the guide's feet. What kind of shoes are they wearing? What stylish shoes are they wearing? Just take your time and just allow whatever comes into your mind to come into your mind. By looking at their shoes, could you tell what era your guide's from? Or maybe you'll be able to tell whether it's a male or a female guide you're getting. 17, 16, 15 steps, stopping. Take your focus slightly higher up to their lower legs, from their ankles to their knees, that part in between. You're maybe starting to see the trousers, or a hemline, or some other kind of fabric or clothing. Just be aware of what you're feeling, sensing and seeing. Are trousers more dominant or a dress? Don't strain too much. Just relax with it. 14, 13, 12. See more of the person's knees coming a bit further up. 11, 10, 9, all the way up their upper legs. Definitely seeing more of the person's clothing. If you're seeing this in black and white, or if you're seeing this within your mind, it's all good. It's all good. Spirits show themselves in many different ways. And this changes as we grow. So maybe because you're working with the person's upper legs, you may be able to see the line of a jacket, very much aware of a skirt or a dress. You're halfway up the spirit's body. You may be getting a good view of the shape, the size and the contours. 8, 7, 6, see their waistline. Just taking it up to their waistline. Maybe see their hands. You're going to get a good view of the shape of the person, their physique. The way they carry themselves, the way they walk. Don't be too surprised if the feet disappear or the legs disappear, because you're just taking your focus to a certain part of the guide's body. So don't worry, it all comes back and it all works in. And it all does what it does. 5, 4, 3, so close to you. We're working up the spirit's chest and shoulders and upper arms. Very much aware of the shape of your guide. Very much aware of the era they are from. Not all guides are from this century. Some guides are from before. Two, one. They're now standing at the chair opposite you. You could see them fully. Now I would like you to concentrate on their facial features, their hair, their eyes. And I would like you to invite your guide within your mind, you personally. Invite your guide to sit down beside you. And just be aware as they come round and sit on that chair opposite you, making themselves comfortable, looking right through you, right at you. It's going to be a pleasure for your guides to meet you eventually, for you to accept and open up and allow your guides to come through close to you so you could work with them. Now most of the work's done, and we just have something else to do for your initial meeting of your guide. And this is the part where you get to converse with them. This is the part where you talk to your guides, either through your minds or verbally. It's how they communicate with you which is important as well. Please don't rush what you're going to say to your guide. Take your time. You have got more than enough time for your initial meeting to find out about your guide. Find out their names, what they did for a living, did they have family. Do the personal stuff first. And then afterwards, find out about your journey. Connect spiritually and allow your guides to lift your vibration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you for about 15 minutes. And once the 15 minutes is up, I'm going to give you a pre-warning that I'm going to be finishing this part of the meditation. Then I'll leave you for another 2-3 minutes just to finish everything up. Finish the information, the guidance that you're getting. And then I'm going to start bringing you back after that. But for the moment, I'd like you just to listen and speak to your guide Please don't bombard them with too many questions. Please allow them to answer your question or give you the answer at one point or another, slowly and gently. This isn't a race to get to know your guide, so take your time. At any time in the future when you play this would probably be where you would pause it. So I'm going to leave you to allow yourself to have that conversation with your guide in that beautiful room with a log fire. And I'll give you a call in 15 minutes. This is me telling you that I'm going to give you an extra couple of moments just to finish up and tie up any conversations that you're having. Don't worry if you haven't asked all your questions. Plenty of time for that in the weeks and months to come as you work with your guides. Just take the last few minutes just to add in, ask, and finish anything that's needing to be said. What I would like you to do is I would like you to thank your guide for coming through and just allow them to stand up. We're just going to take those 20 steps back to the door that they came through. So just give them acknowledgement, thank them. I would like to just visualize them standing at the chair. "20, 19, 18, 17 steps away from you. And they've already started fading. Their whole bodies are started blurring, the colours are blending. And they're going to be starting to disappear. 16, 15, 14, 13 steps away from you, 12 steps closer to the door that they came in. Really starting to disappear. They're starting to turn back into the energy because they only show themselves to you as they do. But other than that, spirit is energy. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8 steps. You could barely see them. And the door that they came through starts to widen, and the light shines nice and brightly within the room next to you. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and they start to walk towards the door, walk into the light. 2, 1. And as they walk into that room, the golden light and the shadow that they've started, and all you see is the silhouette in the doorway. And that door starts to slowly close behind them. And the light getting less and less, and the room that you're in becoming a wee bit slightly darker. The door's nearly closing now, and it's closed. I'd like you just to spend a few moments remembering what they told you. Remember the conversations that you had. But most of all, the beautiful roaring fire kept the two of yous warm throughout your conversation. Now I'd like you to stand up and walk towards the big brown wooden door that you came through and pull it towards you. And as you do so, you're going to start walking into that corridor and closing the door behind you. There is a great feeling of accomplishment and achievement through what you've just done. Meeting your guide, talking to them, acknowledging them, sharing knowledge. Keeping your eyes closed to the very last moment when I will ask you to open them. But as for now, we're going to start refocusing and bringing you back to the here. I'm going to start bringing you back to the room that you're in. So I would like you to focus on something in that room. A picture on the wall, an ornament, a unit even. Just take your focus to that object. I just want you to start sensing and feeling the chair beneath you or the bed that you're lying on. We're going to start bringing the senses and the feelings all the way back to you. I never feel that we need to come out of a meditation like really harshly and strongly and just snapping your fingers and coming out. Let's just take our time. We've set aside this time, so let's just do so. I'd like you just to be aware of the sensations in your toes and your feet. Your roots are still firmly grounded. Working all the way up to your shins and your lower legs. Being aware of the muscles and the calves. Being aware of the skin and the sinew. All the way around the bones, all the way around your knees. Bring your senses all the way up to your upper thighs and hips. While you're on this journey, there was no pain, no discomfort. Bringing your focus all the way to your lower back, lower tummy and waist. You could feel everything. You could feel the chair beneath you, the bed underneath or the couch. Take your focus all the way up to your torso, all the way up to your chest and shoulder blades. I'd like you to pay attention and take your focus to your fingers and thumbs. All the way up the palms and the backs of your hand, around your wrists, up your lower arms and elbows. Pay attention to your upper arms, up and over your shoulders. As you follow that energy from your shoulders to your neck, very much aware of your body coming back, sensing and feeling everything around you. And just like we did before, we're going to do a top to toe check-in. So I'd like you to check from your head to your toes, making sure that you're sensing and feeling every part of your body. And while you're doing so, would you like you just to move and gently move your fingers and toes, just moving them slightly backwards and forwards while you're doing your top to toe check. Working all the way down your arms and legs, making sure that you're sensing and feeling every part of you. As you make your way down to your feet, first and foremost, we either thank the divine for what was gifted, or we thank Mother Nature because we're connecting. So before you lift your roots, ladies and gentlemen, please be very respectful and thank Mother Nature, albeit where you haven't actually put your roots in the soil, but the focus and the imagination was there. So please thank Mother Nature or Gaia for the energy, the balance, and the grounding that she gifted. Do so in your own words, in your mind, or verbally. And then nice and gently, just bring up those roots, just retract them all the way back to the soles of your feet. And just be aware of how they feel and the energy that's within them. You may start to feel a tingling at the bottom of your soles, or a slight vibration feeling. It's all good, it's all energy, it's all lovely. So just draw those roots all the way up so that they disappear. Still moving those fingers and thumbs, and still moving the toes backwards and forwards. Just bring the sensation of you back. I'd like you just to do a slight stretch, still keeping the eyes closed, still being there in the moment, still feeling and sensing the energy that your guides left you with. So now I'm going to ask you to take 3 deep breaths with me. And as you do so, I would like you to imagine, before we start doing that, I would like you to imagine that when you're breathing in a beautiful white light. So I'd like you to take the first of your 3 deep breaths. And I'd like you to breathe that white light into your body, all the way down to your toes and your legs. Breathe it in, filling your legs with a beautiful white light energy. And exhale, keeping that white light within your body. Your second deep breath, we're going to fill your torso with that gorgeous white light. So breathe that energy in, filling your torso and your arms with that beautiful white light. And exhale. As your third deep breath, we're going to fill your head with that beautiful light. Nice deep, deep breath. Connecting all the parts of you together. And exhale. being aware of how fulfilled you are in that beautiful white light within your body. And when you're ready, like just to nice and gently open your eyes. Just keep sitting still or lying down. Just taking a few moments just to feel everything around you and sense everything around you. Meeting your spirit guide can be very emotional. It could be very rewarding and it could be so amazing. But working with your spirit guide is even better. And just remember, your spirit guide is like a really good friend, someone you can confide in, someone that you could speak to, and someone that helps you connect either psychically or spiritually. But remember, your spirit guides aren't there for just working with you. They're there to be with you also, through the good and the bad and the ups and the downs. And it's so lovely to connect with your spirit guide, because once you connect with one, you connect with them all eventually. I personally, as a Reiki master, connect with my healing guides. And it's just so nice to just connect with that energy and just allow your guides to come into your life. So over the next few days of listening to this, there may be moments and times where you maybe feel emotional, maybe feel a bit weepy, but please allow the tears just to go and fall, because you're obviously getting rid of something. Something's obviously clearing away from you in order for you to allow, for your body and yourself to allow your guide into your life. So please don't feel that there's something wrong if you feel a bit weepy or over emotional. It's just a nice cleansing. I'd like to thank you for joining me. Please, if possible, leave a nice little review on my page, Jeanette's Readings. Please tell me about any experiences you've had, how you feel, how it worked out for you. I would really like to know anything like that. And now, before I forget, this is why we brought the pad and the paper through. So a nice drink of water, and over the next few moments, I'd like to keep a journal of your time with your guides or your spirit guides or your spiritual journey. Starting a journal is so important because it makes you revisit things that you maybe have forgotten. So just journal about your first encounter with your spirit guide. And it's just for you personally. Thank you so much for joining me. Please take care. Love and blessings. Thank you.